Hi, welcome to Friday. You've made it through the week. So we're going to go ahead and go back over what I'm expecting of you for your assignment. So we should be turning in our finalized assignment today. Remember, it does not have to be fully in color or in color at all. So what I am going to be expecting from you is the use of geometric shapes, value, line variation, patterns, and the content. Just to go back through these things just a little bit. Geometric and organic shapes revolve around what types of shapes you're using, whether you're using triangles and recognizable shapes, or whether you are using the organic shapes, which are more natural. Now, you're also going to be using value. Just one little section of your project needs to have a transition from light to dark. You can reuse it. You can do that as many times as you want, but you need to at least try it once somewhere in your project. The next thing I'm going to be expect to be seeing is line variation. So that means that certain areas should be thick, certain areas of line should be thicker than other areas. The next thing I'm going to be looking for is patterns. So during your project, you're supposed to be filling different shapes using patterns and designs. And that goes over from whether you're doing the 6th grade project or the 7th grade project. The next one is content. What exactly is it that you have created? Now, for 6th grade, that means that you should be doing a drawing of your favorite location. For 7th grade, that means you are doing something from nature. Now, if you're confused, remember that you can always go back through the previous days to go back through the videos, slideshows, and materials. There's also a video under the materials section that has an assortment of different patterns that you can choose from and try out on your own. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Without further ado, let's get down to the table. Okay, so 6th grade. At this point, you should have already gotten started making some progress on your image. So as you can see, once I have my geometric landscape because this is my favorite place. But once you put all those extra lines, I want you to make sure that you're treating each section a little bit differently. Now, in this case, I went ahead and I just changed direction of the patterns in each of these little bulbs of the cactus, just a little bit to make sure that I get the general idea of the cactus. Now, there are going to be small sections like this. If, for example, there's a little teeny tiny corner that you realize where you didn't, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in actually just a little bit so you can see. Let's say, for example, there's a teeny tiny corner right here where the line goes through and I didn't account for it. What you can do in those cases, just fill it in. It's not necessary to have every single section 100% visible, and erasing that section is likely going to cause you more trouble than it would if you just filled it in. So filling it in will still keep that general idea in place, but it's also not going to make things quite so difficult for you to go ahead and fix it. So you're less likely to have any smearing or anything like that. So if there's a tiny little space like that and you don't really feel like going and trying to put a pattern in that teeny tiny little space, you can always just fill it in. Zoom back out. Whoops. So zooming back out a little bit. Sorry about that. What we're going to do at this point, you're going to continue filling up each individual space. Now, as you can see, I'm isolating all these little circles modeled after the Aboriginal artwork into the ground area of the image. Now remember, I'm also expecting to see areas where you're using the transition from dark to light. So what I would recommend and like for you to do is in at least one space to go ahead and do that. So first what you want to do is select the space that you're going to do this in. Now you can do this in multiple areas and I'll show you what that looks like in just a second, but I highly recommend if you're going to do multiple areas to change direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start with this corner along the side right here and start pressing down very hard with my pencil, going from side to side, side to side, just filling in the space just a little bit right in that corner. And then as I move across the shape, just slowly relaxing my hand. And as you relax your hand, and just keep moving side to side, you're going to see it slowly turning into a lighter shade of gray. Now obviously your regular pencil is not going to be quite as dark as this, because this particular pencil is very dark and I've chosen it specifically so that it shows on camera very well. So you again, you press dark, press down very hard, and then you slowly relax your hand, and as you get to the other side, it's going to get softer. Now if you're struggling with that, another option is to press down very hard and just fill up a full line of that space, and then blend it over with your finger. And what's going to happen is, if you get just a general idea with your finger, with your pencil, just a general idea, you can put little sections of the colors, pressing a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter, and just slowly move back and forth with your finger, and that's going to blend it out like that as well. And that's 100% acceptable in this particular case for the project. Now, notice I changed the direction that I was doing the shading. So this section I started this direction, this side I started sideways. So let's say I want to do this top section over here. You could rotate again and just continue across. Now, other options for filling in the spaces are also available in the Google Classroom. You can check in the materials section. There's lots of different patterns and designs that you can use. You can do zigzags, checkers. You can fill in little spaces like this and create a checker pattern. However you decide to fill up your page, that is up to you. By the end of today, I expect this to be completely filled up 100%. And remember, each time you come to a line, you need to be either doing a different pattern or changing direction. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.